The show where there are no penalties, nothing is offside, and everything is fair game. This is The Gloves Are Off.
Welcome to The Gloves Are Off. I'm Moses Woldu. We got a great show for you this week. Of course, happy Canada Day and long weekend for you guys. I know the work week's starting up, and this guy's a little groggy, but he is here as a trooper. And that's Greg Buchanan, CPC radio announcer. Big races in Onion Lake.
Yes, big races in Onion Lake and bigger ones coming up in Calgary next week.
Yeah, that's going to be huge, especially what's transpired in a few weeks. I'm pleased to be joined by Chris Roberts. You are the sports editor for the Lloydminster Source. How are you doing?
I am. How are you? I'm good.
All right. I know it was a big hockey week for you, the NHL draft, and
Yeah.
I know you were excited to watch.
Yeah, kind of cooped in Sunday, just watching that all day, following maybe all 7 rounds. So got my fill for sure.
Nothing like 9 hours of television time, right? All right. Well, we'll start off with the NHL draft, and the first part I want to talk about is how it did not disappoint. You had a lot of intrigue, a lot of drama when it came to certain teams acquiring draft picks via trade. But I think the biggest shock to me was not so much having Nate McKinnon go first or Barkov's second or Drouin third, but the fact that you had Seth Jones drop all the way to 4th to the Nashville Predators. Were you guys surprised at all with that situation?
I wasn't so much surprised after the Panthers picked Barkov because, I mean, that kind of set the table. And I think Tampa probably already had it in their head. They're taking Drouin. Barkov is a big skilled guy, obviously, that the Panthers need. I mean, a lot of the guys mentioned they just can't find the net. They can't score. So, I mean, I'm not surprised really how it played out. But, I mean, heading into it, yeah, it was a little shocked to see Seth Jones fall to 4, obviously.
I think teams go there and, of course, they draft for what they need. And you look at the NHL right now, all these teams are looking for skilled forwards that can score. Every team is having a hard time scoring. Same time, well, for me personally, I love a defenseman that can log a lot of minutes, a guy that's probably going to be in the career for 12 or 15 years. I would have took a Seth Jones, but that's just me.
And how great of a situation it is for him, because he's got Ellis, he's got Weber, strong D-men that could work together. And imagine having Weber and Jones on a power play or together as a defensive pairing. I think it'd be probably one of the most intimidating, very much like you have with a Seabrook and a Keith, right?
Yeah, and I think you look at Nashville, they've always been a real good defensive team. Barry Trotz has that team playing a defensive system to a T. And when you throw in some big units in the back end, it's going to make them even stronger.
Yeah, they lose Ryan Suter a year ago, and now Seth Jones, I mean, falls into their lap. So good on them.
Nice replacement, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. You can't get much worse.
Hey, I do want to mention this. I know you're a Leafs fan, Chris. Ty Domi.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Ty Domi.
It's getting
Toronto Maple Leaf. He was drafted by the Leafs. You also have his son, Max
well, not by
Domi.
the Leafs, but yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you have Max Domi, of course, a kid out there who's not like his dad so much using his fists for punching somebody. Ray Ferraro put it best. He uses his hands for good. He's quite the goal scorer and looks like he can be in the NHL. You also have, of course, in the 7th round, you had Marty Brodeur call out his son's name, Anthony, giving him the jersey, part of the New Jersey Devils. Now, you've seen about 9 or so father-son draft picks. Out of those two, or even the other ones, who do you think in, say, 20 years will be the great father-son duo out of the picks that you see?
Obviously a little biased, but I got to say Max Ty Domi. Kirby Reichel's going to be a good player too, I think, but Max Domi, I mean, we saw him at the Memorial Cup and just some of the moves he made, that between the legs pass
Saucer
there.
pass,
Yeah, that was fantastic. And yeah, I think he's gonna do well in Phoenix.
I think Max is going to score more goals in his first 2 years, maybe 3, than Ty ever had in his career. You know, not a slight against Ty. You know, we can make fun of Ty and say he was this and that. You know what? He played.
He was
his role.
good at what he did.
He was good at what he did, and to have the long career that he did as a pension now from the NHL. There isn't a lot of guys that can say that. So, you know, hats off to Ty.
And is also doing local TV commercials,
well,
too. So
yeah.
give him credit. He's
Those aren't
money
that
there.
great, but
no.
yeah.
His acting needs work.
Yes.
Hey, I do want to get to this, and this is something, at least the second part of the draft I want to mention. The Vancouver Canucks traded Corey Schneider for the Devils' 9th pick, which I thought was too little. Because you look at what other teams were offering, albeit they were in their own division, Edmonton, Calgary, for example. They only took that pick. They got Bo Horvat. Great player, could be potentially a really good player in the future, but they really sacrificed a lot for the present. did Lou Lamoriello, the general manager of the Devils, hoodwink the Vancouver Canucks?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I saw the trade. It shocked me really. I mean, and then Mike Gillis comes in and turns around and says the plan all along was to develop Schneider and trade him in a couple of years. And I mean, that was not the plan at all. They tried for a year to get rid of Luongo, and yeah, he was shocked what I heard, and it's just a messy situation there now.
You know what? And there was so much talk. What is it? 15 months of going on. Who's going to get traded? Bobby Lou. Where is he going to go? And we talked about it time and time and time again. And all of a sudden, they just kind of throw him away. And you know, I'd say Horvat may be a very good player for Vancouver down the road. They got more out of Schneider than actually Toronto gave up for Bernier. So it's not a bad deal.
No, but it did seem like, New Jersey's got their goalie for the future for many years to replace Marty Brodeur. I do want to get to the Chicago Blackhawks. Very much like 2010, they had a lot of their team that was kind of dismantled, going to Atlanta, going where else, right? You have Derek Bolin, got traded to the Maple Leafs for 3 picks. You have Michael Frolik, who got traded for 2 picks to the Winnipeg Jets. Are we going to see more players leave Chicago?
I think that's probably it for now. I think Ray Emery's on the verge of re-signing there. There's a couple guys that'll probably come back. I mean, that's probably, you got to get rid of a couple guys after you win the cup, just kind of the changing of the guard even, and fit under the cap. But I think that's, and they got a good return draft picks out of those 2 guys, like you said yesterday. So
I think that's the way of doing it too, because you can't keep all of them. You have to trim the fat, and you have to recycle and get younger a little bit too. So I think Chicago's making some right moves.
Yeah, they picked up Bickle too. I think that's a reason, make some cap space,
Yep.
and send him to a 4-year deal. We're going to have to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about NHL free agency. Vanilla Cavalier, boy, he's got a lot of teams to choose from come July 5th. Stay tuned.